I went to the desert to reconnect with Reiki. I had been feeling really alone and disconnected, and I felt like the desert would get me away from everyday distractions, and practicing Reiki, because it's life force energy that literally flows through everything and everyone, would help me find that feeling of connection that I was missing. As I was practicing Reiki on a mountain overlooking the whole Coachella Valley, out of nowhere, 3 hawks flew over me, and I immediately thought about my 3 grandparents who passed away. I could feel their energy, and it felt like they were with me right there, sitting on the mountain. I knew that the hawks were a sign from them, that they're always with me, no matter how alone or disconnected I might feel.
It's calling me.
Now, I've been to the desert a lot, but I've never hiked in the canyons. I wanted to go explore them and practice Reiki there. One canyon was a literal oasis. I just thought to myself, I feel like I'm in an oasis. And then I was like, wait, you are in an oasis. I think this might be my first oasis. And the other had a waterfall coming out of the mountainside. 60-foot waterfall. Yeah, I'm excited. Since water's so rare in the desert, I knew that these places were a source of energy I wanted to explore. Sometimes when I'm practicing Reiki by myself, I feel really alone, but I have to remember that I'm part of a bigger community of healers. There were people who came before me who practiced Reiki and people who will come after me, and we're all sharing that same energy. When I was doing Reiki down by the stream over there, I got the message, and the plants and everything, they were like, we've been blessed before, and thank you. And immediately I felt like part of a community. And then when I was doing the Reiki right there and I was sending it out, I had this vision of a community meeting in between those 2 rocks right there. The more time I spent in the canyons, giving Reiki to myself and the land, the more I felt the land giving Reiki to me. I could feel the energy in the rocks and the trees. I could feel the energy of the waterfall. I felt how special the land was and how special Reiki was to give. I felt more connected to myself, nature, and everything around me. For as much as a desert means to me, Joshua Tree is a really special place.
It's calling me. Like the rainbow. Like the rainbow. It's calling me. Like the rainbow. The rainbow.
It's so wide open and desolate, but it feels so full of life. I read once that Joshua Tree is an energy vortex, which is a place where the earth's energy is magnified, it swirls, and it can cause spontaneous healing. And I believe it because every time I'm there, I gain a new perspective, I get clarity and insight, and I leave feeling like a brand new person. So I really wanted to go there and see what practicing Reiki would be like.
Because you don't know who you're going to meet.
I've been so stressed and anxious about putting the Reiki out there, talking about it, like doing the business side of it. And so I've just like felt stuck, or it just like hasn't felt right. And so now that I've been out here connecting with Reiki, connecting with nature, and giving myself Reiki, it's just like that energy is moving through now. And so some of that throat blockage is clearing, which is good. In Joshua Tree, physically, I was more alone than any of the other places I visited. But that isolation provided the stillness I needed to feel how much I'm part of something bigger. Watching the sun going down reminded me that I'm a part of every place I visited and everything I touched. As the sun went down and moved out of sight, I could still feel its energy, and I knew that it was still with me, just like my grandparents and the healers reminded me earlier. Even when I'm in isolation or just feeling alone, I'm connected to everything.
And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going